Yeah, the midwits like, oh, yes, baby, they messed up. I can't wait to tell them. Oh, yeah.
They will not.
Huh? Kaboom.
There is this type of person, and it drives me up a wall. It is, this person explains it really well. This is from Remnant 777. It's called The Psychology of Pseudo-Intellectual Midwits.
Today, we will be looking at the most obnoxious, unlikable, pretentious phenotype out there, the mid-witted pseudo-intellectual. I mean,
boy.
they're literally what you would get if you took the actually meme and turned it into
Yep.
a literal person. And to clarify, for those who don't know, a midwit is someone who's of average intelligence, and they think of themselves and present themselves as someone of higher intelligence, which
Yes, they feel the constant need to tell you they're smart. Because they're not smart. Because smart people would not feel a constant need to tell you.
is seen in this meme of the midwit. Then after that, we have this pseudo-intellectual. This person is deceptive. They pretend to be knowledgeable or intelligent, while they are somebody who lacks genuine depth and understanding of a subject. These are two distinctly different things, but they have a lot of overlap. And a lot of the traits we just covered, they're generally seen in the same people. And as somebody who has a lot of experience with these people in general, I believe I have a very good understanding of them. I know how they operate, why they behave the way that they do, and how to spot them. But here's the thing, plenty of videos
Oh, you could smell them from a mile away, all right?
already have gone over this. They've covered this exact same topic, and I would say that they're very valuable. And for the sake of not regurgitating that same information, think of this video as an addendum to their work and not the end-all be-all. Firstly, we have to understand them, know exactly what drives them, and at their core, they are very antisocial people who are extremely insecure. That is where a lot of their obnoxious behavior stems from. Now, let me give you an example here. Let's say that you were talking to one of these midwits, and you said, "The weather outside looks beautiful." Off of that statement alone, they're gonna rush into it and say, "Yes, it is." And that happens because of the high pressure systems over our heads. You see, the clear skies happen when the air sinks instead of rising, the way that the sunlight
And I'm just trying to figure out who f***ing asked.
scatters through the atmosphere and makes it look brighter. Oh, we haven't even talked about what do you even mean by beauty and how we can prove what beauty is at the end of the day. Oh my word.
How can I insert myself narcissistically into this situation that wasn't even about me, but make it about me?
Just shut up.
How could I validate myself from your statement?
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit about whatever you're saying right there. We have all had this happen to us. We've had
No. See, this is me.
Nobody gives a shit about whatever you're saying right there. We have all had
This is me every time this happens because I'm trying not to be an ass, okay? And, like, I know that some people just can't read the room, but, like, I could tell a lot of times I try not to be, like, unkind, but then, like, the people who do this are always, like, not well-intended. I have to constantly tell myself, like, no, he's being a stinky, and he's not doing it, you know, unawares or, you know, he's doing it because for himself only, like, his intent bad. But this is me, because I'm like,
had this happen to us. We've had this person who goes on an extremely long tangent that nobody cares about, just for the sole purpose of demonstrating how much they've read on Wikipedia.
And this is different, by the way. You guys should know, this is different than somebody, like, having an interest, right? They will want to talk above you, and they will never want to share it with you. Like, you'll be able to tell because, like, somebody who is really, really interested in something, like a video game, they'll be like, "You want to play it with me? You should try this game. I love it. It's my favorite game. Let me tell you more about it." Whereas this game, it would be like, if you got into the game with them, they'd always be like, "But I know more than you. But I know more than you. But I'm better than you." It would never be like a sharing of something they were passionate about.
The reason why they do this is because when you interact with them, is what is always at the center of their mind is, how can I take this opportunity to
Yeah, here you
show
go.
the people around me how smart and knowledgeable I am? Which
Yeah, so it's not about the interest in wanting to share it. It's all about perpetuating themselves.
at the end of the day is rotten to the core because it is only self-serving. And people can sense this. We all sense this coming.
Where, like, you guys know this, I feel like, probably, right? Like, for me, I love listening to people's hyper interests. I'll just sit there and, like, I'll just sit there quietly and nod my head. I love it when people are really interested in something and they gush about it. But, like, the fun of that is because they're so passionate about something and they feel like sharing it with me. This is something where they're not sharing it with you, they're pushing it on you. it feel like you'll notice the difference is like it doesn't feel like they like you and so they want to share something with you. It'll feel like they're pushing it on you. It doesn't feel like it holds the same purpose.
A mile away, and we hate it. Which ties into the key aspect of pseudo-intellectuals, why they're feigning knowledge, wisdom, or intelligence. They don't learn the things that they do because it's useful to implement it into their own lives. No, they don't care about that. What they care about is using it to impress the people around them.
You'll also find a lot of times the thing that they're interested in, they actually don't know a lot about. Like they don't actually want to ask questions or learn more about it. They just want to make it known that they know more than you.
Which is just fake and shallow at the end of the day. Everybody hates it. And the way
it's
we
very
know
like
that it's
hollow.
true is because if you pay attention to a person's actions, it will tell you what they actually care about, what they value, what their goal is with their interaction with you. If you and me, we were talking to each other and I stopped to listen to you, I start to ask questions about you. I hear you out. This is my way of conveying without words that I care about you. I care.
Yeah, like you're interested in what the person's saying. You're asking questions. You want to know more about it. You want them to talk more about it. You are listening to them.
About the
you want to
things
hear
you're
more.
saying to me. You deserve my attention. That's what you're showing with your actions. Well, on the other hand, if I just ignored you, I talked over you, I just went on long, irrelevant tangents about the things I know, that is my way of saying to you, you are unimportant to me.
Yeah, so a lot of times when they bring up that, like, this type of person brings up their interests, it is like stomping over other things that are going on.
Rosiebell hype.
It's not like a mutual conversation where you get to be a part of someone gushing about something. It's like they have stomped over whatever you were talking about in order to push this there, right?
What I truly care about is not you, but it's how I appear to you. You see what I'm getting at? This is one simple example to explain the lens in which we need to view these things. If you use this lens to view all social interactions between people, you will have a better understanding of people in general. And it's through this lens that we can examine some of the stereotypical behavior of these midwits. One common example is the nitpicking behavior. It could be you make a small typo, you mispronounce something, and they'll hone in on that and use—
Bro, this drives me insane. Like, I say your and I use the wrong version on Twitter, and people are like, oh, you're with the apostrophe. I'm like, okay, does that make you feel good? Does it make you feel more smart? Does it make you feel more smart now that you know how to spell, but you don't know how to win the argument in any capacity? You're wrong, but you do know how to spell. I don't know where that gets you.
Use it against you. While in reality, it's not an issue. Everybody knew what you meant. We could let it slide and it wouldn't change anything. But the midwit, the pseudo-intellectual—
yeah, the midwit's like, oh, yes, baby, they messed up. I can't wait to tell them. Oh, yeah.
They will not. These people will never miss an opportunity to pop in and show,
I can't wait to tell them I know something they don't. I can't wait to tell them, well, actually, I can't wait.
Actually, this is the correct way you say it. This is what you actually mean. And at the end of the day, this action, it doesn't aid in the conversation.
No, it just feels like somebody really has ego issues.
It doesn't aid in clarifying anything to anybody. And it is nothing more to these people than an opportunity to showcase how much they know at your expense.
Yes. So, I will say something really quick here, okay? A brief aside, if you will. When I ban someone or say, hey, we're not going to do this, it's a bad idea, right? And then people come in and say like, well, actually, Rosie, this is what the chatter meant to say before you banned him. And well, actually, Rosie, I think he was meaning to say a video that you could watch offline that would only be TOS on Twitch, but not on YouTube. Or maybe it's not allowed on either, but you know, what if it's allowed on Discord? What if you want to watch gore in your free time, Rosie? What if you want to watch some deranged... what about that? I'm like, guys, there is no universe that I would want that.
Again, you gotta remember what is at the forefront of their mind. Look at me, look at how much I know. Shut up and pay attention to me. Look and see how smart I am. And what is so ironic at the end of the day is they characteristically don't even understand what they're talking about. It's all surface level. I tell you, one time—
yeah, so if you actually do ask them questions, like, if you treat it like somebody who's hyper-fixated, you're like, oh, tell me more. They won't even know that much about it. Like, that's the funniest part. It's like, I thought you were super passionate about it.
was talking to a guy and he asked me what I do. And I told him I do freelance video editing because that is what I was focusing on at the time. And instantly he jumped in and said, "Oh, you should go to Fiverr. I heard
Oh
there
my
are people who make
God.
a lot of money on there. You should try it out. You should do the smart thing and let the business come to you rather than seek it out yourself." And I politely told him that's not how it works. You can't just simply make a Fiverr account and expect it to work from there. I've looked into this as a freelancer. It's a lot harder than you make it out to be. It's not that simple. But he didn't listen. He said, no. Trust me, I've seen it. You can just make an account
Bro,
on
I struggle so bad with this person. I struggle so bad. Cause like I'm like, how do I tell them the thing that you're suggesting? It just doesn't. You just can't. It's bad. It's bad, and your idea is bad. How do I tell them that
and
nicely?
you'll blow up, trust me. I mean, just try it out. Can't hurt, right? And we went back and forth and we were talking
How do I tell them politely, like, thank you so much for the advice, but I won't be taking it at all?
about this until I finally
it is
asked him and
ass.
said, "Wait, have you ever done any video editing yourself or any commissions?" And he said, "No, I haven't." And then I asked him again, "Have you done any work on
Seething. Me internally seething. Thank you so much for your advice. Person who has never done this in their life that knows more than me. Thank you so much for your wisdom.
Fiverr?" And then he said, "Nah, man, but I've heard people do really well in it." And then I instantly realized right at that moment, I wasted my whole time talking to this fucking idiot who doesn't know anything he's talking about, who's telling me what I should do. And what's worse is
Oh,
if you stop to
no.
think about it, you realize these people don't care about you at all. Again, all of this is performative. The only thing he really cared about and wanted to hear was for me to say is, "Yes, I will do this thing that you suggested." So
Yeah, yes, wow, I never thought of that before. You're so smart. I've been here, like, you've never done this once in your life, and I've been doing this forever, but somehow this ground level knowledge is something I never thought about.
he can feel good about himself. That's all he wanted. That's all he cared about. This whole conversation at the end of the day was simply self-serving to him, to
Yep.
give him an ego boost. But let me tell you
He
about
wants to jork the ego. Please tell him he's smart.
another story, another interaction I
The
had.
Wikipedia degrees are getting out of hand.
I one time met this girl and asked her, "What are you going into college for?" And she said photography. And then she told me what her whole plan was, to get hired by a big company and to do their marketing for them. And for everybody who's into photography, I know you've heard this a billion times before. People tell you you should become a freelance wedding photographer. You should start your own business. You'll make so much money. Just take pictures of
Man.
people at their weddings. That's what
That's probably like a trigger statement now. Like they probably get that every time they say they're a photographer. Like, oh, have you thought of doing wedding
you
photography?
should do. But instead of saying any of that, I stopped and said, "I'm curious. Why are you interested in working for a corporation instead of doing freelance work like everybody says?" And after that,
Yeah, this is way better because you're asking a question because you're not an expert and you're not professing to be one. So now you're asking a question about something you don't know that is going to make the person tell you more about it.
she instantly lit up. She told me why.
Yeah, because she knows you're interested. She knows you're interested in her job and you don't know about it and you want to know more about it.
She went over the pros and cons of it. She talked about the negatives of doing freelance work rather than having a stable job at a company. Different things like that. She went into great detail about this thing. Because guess what? It's not my place to give her advice in her own field that I know nothing about. The only position I am in as someone who doesn't do photography while she's pursuing it, thinking about
Thank
it
you
for
for being
hours.
you.
Oh, of course. I do my best at being the myself. Yes.
Someone who doesn't do photography while she's pursuing it, thinking about it for hours every day, is to ask her questions. I'm not in the position to give her advice, especially unrequested advice, because most people out there, they don't do these things because they believe it's the best. They want to help you. They do it to paint themselves as an intellectual. One of
Yeah, so it's important to notice that the person that just wants to help you is different. Like there are people out there that just want to help and that's their reason for doing this, but you can really tell because of intent if they aren't doing it to help you and just doing it to make feel smart, by the way. I'm not saying it's bad to want to help people. Just clarifying, right? Like that's not this type of person, just so you guys know. It's the person that clearly is only doing it to try to feel smart. It's not even that they take interest in this person and what they're doing, you know? They don't even actually want to help.
One of the reasons why I believe these midwits and these pseudo-intellectuals do this, these Redditors, they like to convince themselves that they're smart, they're educated, and it's all a cope to them because they have low self-esteem. It's like, hey, maybe I look like shit, maybe I smell like shit, I'm unlikable, I'm ugly, but I can at least go on long monologues that nobody pays attention to. People compliment me and tell me how smart I am, right? That's why so many people in general value their intelligence. They take pride in their intelligence. They base their self-esteem upon it, which is unhealthy. I don't think you should do that.
It really is.
Because if you're
It really makes you miserable if the only thing you have is trying to be smarter than other people all the time. Especially about things you're not even passionate about.
actually intelligent, that is not an earned virtue. You did nothing to earn it. You were simply born with it. People who fixate on their own intelligence, they usually have nothing going on in their lives that they can rest their self-esteem on. That alone is their one pillar they rely on. And if you threaten that, if you shake it by being smarter than them or undermining their intelligence, they will hate you. Because
Yeah, they also can never be wrong for this reason. Like, if you're an expert at something, right? Like, let's say, like, you're a streamer, you like, the one girl's, like, a photographer. If you tell the pseudo-intellectual that his advice is wrong, sometimes he'll get really mad, even though he's not even a photographer. Because God forbid that he have anyone tell him he's wrong about something, even if he's not invested in it. It's really weird.
that's the one thing they have in life. Never under
It's so weird because it's like, but you don't even like photography. What's wrong with you not knowing anything about it or being wrong about it? It's not like you've, dedicated your life to this or spent many hours figuring this out. Like, what's it matter if you don't know about this subject? Who cares?
undermine it or shake it. Never point out how they are wrong because they will hate you. And what we can learn from this is, one, we should not rest our self-esteem on intelligence. Secondly, we need multiple pillars of self-esteem. If you base it off of intelligence, there are going to be people out there.
Yeah, you're never, ever, ever going to be able to have all of your ego based on intelligence, or it will always be fragile because you can't always know everything. Like, there's no way.
By virtue of existing, that will make you feel inferior and hateful. Whereas, let's say you're a retard. You can be a happy, lovable retard. You can say to yourself, well, I might be retarded, but I'm at least moderately attractive, or I take care of my looks. I'm likable, people enjoy me. I make—
Listen, okay? I don't really like to use it, but he's not— Listen, have you guys met someone who's not smart but is likable? It's literally called the likable idiot. There's literally a term for it because it's not unlikable not to be smart. It's unlikable to be ignorant, right? But it's not unlikable to not be smart. You know what I mean? Like, think about dogs. How many people like Labrador retrievers? I've seen so many labs, like, if you clean the glass of a back door, just run face front into it. Does that mean we hate him? No, of course not. I would rather be a likable, happy idiot than my whole life than a bitter, like, intelligent asshole that no one wants to be around because I'm insufferable.
the people around me laugh. I'm charismatic. I have other—
Yeah, like, you could be charismatic and fun to be around and, like, you know what I mean?
positive qualities about myself. And this retard, when he meets somebody who's smarter than him, he's not going to be insecure whatsoever. He's not going to be combative with them. He's not going to be insecure around them. He's going to love them. And that is what you need to do. Be like the retard instead of the midwit or the pseudo-intellectual who do everything in their power to feel good about themselves, feel very intelligent, and get that ego boost. Don't do that. And what—
Yeah, because guess what? Guess what the midwit doesn't have that the big dummy does? He cares about people outside of himself. He sees you as more than the midwit ever will.
one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a
He's
truth
caring.
nuke. I usually don't call it a truth nuke, but I'm very confident with this, and everybody needs to hear this. One,
Like, look at Forrest Gump. Look at how many characters in movies are likable because they just care.
people do not care at all how you appear to them. Nobody cares about how you talk about yourself or how you frame yourself to be in front of them, or you say things that are solely designed to impress other
Yeah, to the midwit, others don't even exist except for, like, accessories to boost their ego.
people. Nobody's paying attention when you go on these long monologues. People block it out. They start to daydream. Nobody cares about you. That's the truth. Nobody cares. But what they do care about are two— how you make them feel, and also what value you supply to them. People care about and love people who make themselves feel good. What is
Yeah.
actually valuable is the skill of making other people feel smart, loved, valued, happy. People
Yep.
will love you
Cared
for that.
about.
That is what is extremely important. And also being a valuable asset in general. If you supply
It's nice if someone calls you smart, but if you tell someone that they look nice, if you tell someone that you were helpful, if you tell someone that you remembered something they told you, they will just feel like they matter. And that's what people like.
value to people, you give to them in whatever way you can. People will love you and value for
Yep.
that. And oddly enough, if you're supplying value to people, they oftentimes view you as intelligent. If you
Yep.
want to be seen
It's
as
kind of
intelligent,
interesting because you don't have to be smart for people to think you're smart. Like, I've had people try to call me smart, and I'm like, no, I was just nice to you. I just gave you basic human decency. It's not the same, okay? You're gonna be very disappointed if you think I'm intelligent. Like, don't stick around. If you stick around too long, you're gonna find out real fast. That's not it.
just be competent. Just be a person who focuses on and pays attention to other people, what they need, how they feel, and supply also value to them with your actions. That is what you should focus on. Then maybe people will view you as smart. But again, who cares? You shouldn't even be focusing on that anymore. You gotta focus on other people rather than being
Yep.
self-absorbed. And that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. And as always,
I think this was a
I
good
hope you have
video.
a good one.
I think this is a great video. I also am with you guys where you say you guys like how he like the visuals he does. Like it's just a well made video.